Sportsman's Adventures is presented by Yamaha and fueled by StarTron. The Florida Keys proudly host more fishing tournaments than any other region in the state of Florida. Having hundreds of species both inshore and offshore, it's the perfect place to have fishing men, women, and kids to come together to enjoy the beautiful Florida Keys and display their skills. Many would think that fishing tournaments are all about prizes and money, and for most fishing tournaments, that is the case. But there are some tournaments that focus on a cause. And during this Sportsman's Adventures, you're going to find at least one tournament that you can compete in.
Go, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
Only a mama could love that mouth.
Bringing home the snappers. Hey, look at that.
In Isla Mirada, an environmental education foundation organizes an annual tournament where the participants trade in their rods and reels for a mask, snorkel, and fins. It's called the Lionfish Derby.
So the event that we have going on today is the Florida Keys Lionfish Derby, where we teach teams how to go out and collect lionfish, which are an invasive species, so they're not meant to be in Florida waters. They feed on our native fish population, so they've had a huge negative impact on the local health of the reef. So we're encouraging teams to go out and remove those lionfish.
The Lionfish Derby starts on the second Friday in September and runs through the weekend. Friday and Saturday are dive days. There are two divisions, the Defenders and the Apex. Apex teams like Forever Young are commercial fishing teams. They use their own boats, but use the tournament as a way to have fun.
Well, we enjoy hunting lionfish. Forever Young specializes in spearfishing, so with that we do a lot of lionfish hunting and work with a lot of local nonprofits and other agencies to try to learn more about lionfish, their impacts on the reef, and how to remove them. So over the years of doing that, we've just kind of gotten to figure them out quite a bit and what kind of habitats they like and the depths and how they move around, and it's been a lot of fun to get to know these fish.
Defenders, on the other hand, use dive shops, like the Isla Mirada Dive Center. Dive shops will schedule a couple of trips each day of the tournament, specifically with lionfish hunting in mind. Many, like Jim Stauffer, come all the way from Chicago every year to dive and hunt lionfish.
Well, a group of us were in Bonaire and we were spearing lionfish there. And one of the guys said, hey, there's a lionfish derby in Florida. We all need to go to it. So we came here from Tennessee to kill some lionfish.
We've been waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And getting all our gear ready into the boat and trying to be off the dock. We were aiming for 7. We got a little late, so we get at 8. And first day we were out on the Florida Keys Dive Center boat.
The conditions were kind of rough on the first day, right?
Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 foot seas.
It was a little bouncy.
A little bouncy. But we had the Florida Keys Dive Center Newton, so we had 2 teams. It was squid ink and barnacles. And the first day we got, was it 27 or 28 fish on the first day. The conditions were super murky. We had maybe 20 feet viz, 10, 20 feet.
No one got stung?
No one got stung.
Safe dives?
Yeah, we like to go out to the ledge, 80 to 100 feet of water, and that's where they like to hide, is in the little cracks and crevices, and we go through and pick them out. It was a little dark, so it's kind of hard to see them this year, but...
And this year opposed to like last year, do you think there's like less lionfish?
There's definitely less.
It almost, like, if I had to say it, it feels like we're actually making a dent. Like, it feels like there's improvement.
So being a full-time resident here in the Keys, I've noticed the numbers of lionfish dwindling. I think the conjoined effort of the derbies is doing a really good job on reducing the number of lionfish on our reefs.
As was mentioned, this tournament is about the cause. Cindy Check knows that even people from Tennessee care about what happens in our oceans.
Well, lionfish are an invasive species here in the Caribbean, and anything that we can do to eradicate them and help the rest of the reef fish build a healthier reef system, I'm happy to do that.
We don't plan on winning the tournament, but I think we're going to have the best time out of all the teams here.
That's what makes tournaments so fun. Besides making bubbles, divers like Tim Slessman has his reasons for hunting lionfish.
Yeah, a number of reasons. One, the camaraderie with our friends. We've been hunting lionfish in Bonaire for about 4 years. We have an absolute ball. 2, it's great for the environment to get the invasive species out. And 3, they're good tasting fish.
So we're happy. We're going back out tomorrow and nail some more.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Rodan. Set it. Forget it. Catch more fish. Fish Bites and Fish Bites Fight Club Lures. Bajío. Sky above, sea below. Penn. Let the battle begin. And Startron. Start, run, store with Startron. Sunday is Festival Day. At the Postcard Inn Tiki Bar in Isla Mirada, the Defenders and Apex teams bring their coolers dockside. Inside those coolers are hundreds of lionfish on ice. Not to be wasted, once these venomous hunters are measured and documented, they will be stripped of their poisonous spines and filleted. Some are used for educational purposes.
They have venomous spines, so people think, oh, they're venomous, I can't eat them. But no, you can. They're not poisonous, they're venomous. And they're venomous stored in these spines here. There's 13 on top, and then if you flip them over, there's 1 on each ventral fin and 3 on the anal fin.
But most are used to prepare seafood appetizers like ceviche or fish tacos. We caught up with Tim from Chicago to taste what he's been hunting.
I think that's the best taco I ever had in my life. Lionfish.
Kevin, look at
Hey, shark biter.
While a local band keeps the island vibes going, there are vendors selling things like zookeepers. Those are the contraptions that divers put the lionfish in after spearing them. And even jewelry made from the lionfish spines.
Thank you guys. We're about to have the announcements here in a couple minutes.
At the end of the weekend, there are lots of prizes and over $6,500 in cash to give out.
All right, Chris Reynolds has won the zookeeper.
There are prizes for largest fish, smallest fish, and the most fish brought in. You don't even need to catch a fish to win cash in the Lionfish Derby. Teams have a chance to win $500 just for signing up.
All right, and then starting with our smallest live lionfish. So we actually only had 1 team bring it in. It's doing great, and that's our team, Men of Science. So that lionfish came in at 82 millimeters, and they'll be getting $100. The largest lionfish removed at 401 millimeters for $500, Squid Ink. Our first place team in our Apex Predators division with 400 lionfish for $1,400 and our special edition zookeepers, we have Forever Young.
Derby's a ton of fun. It's like we work hard all year running charters and sharing what we do and what we love to do with other people, and the Derby's an opportunity for me and our crew and friends to hop in the water and shoot some fish and just relax. And so the Derby itself is just a lot of fun. Like here at the weigh-in, it's just a blast, but overall to be able to get these things together and remove large amounts of lionfish off the reef makes everything we do down here better and more special. Like this reef is our livelihood, it's a special place, and lionfish in general really have a devastating effect on the spots that they're found in large quantities. So getting these fish off the reef and off the wrecks just helps the other native fish populations come back, just has a huge influence on what we're doing here.
This year, there were 919 lionfish taken from the reefs. That's a little less than last year, but there's a reason for that.
And we found through some research projects that we've done over the years that those local control efforts make a difference in long-term stability in decreasing lionfish numbers. So the more that you have local people going out and removing lionfish from their local reefs, it has long-term benefits in keeping the populations down. So this one-time big pull of lionfish will have a positive impact for the next year to come.
It's the education by organizations like Reef and the dedication of the divers that continue to make the trip every year that make these memorable weekends happen. It's also education and dedication by professional anglers like Captain Rick Murphy that allows him to pass along experience and expertise on how to prepare for a tournament.
So guys, when I think about tournament fishing, rods are a huge part of my consideration. Now, what I don't do is I don't take rods that I've been using on a charter because I don't know the condition of maybe the way my clients have put the line back on the reel, or maybe it was thrown into the mangroves and I wasn't paying attention. So we have a set of rods at our house that we use specifically for tournament fishing. Or we maybe restring things weeks beforehand, and those rods stay off to the side. Another trick is that it's really important to take care of those rods when you're making those long runs. I've learned over the years that the resistance as you're going across the water a lot of times will chafe the braided line if they're sitting in a vertical situation. So we put them in the rod lockers, or we put them underneath the gunnels so that they're not up in the air, because we don't want that wind at 60 mile an hour that the boat is doing to chafe that line as it's going across the water. So keep that in mind. Take good care of your tournament fishing rods and they'll take care of you.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Power Pole, Total Boat Control, Fenwick, Feel Everything, Murphy's Law Sport Fishing. Book your trip today at murphyslawsportfishing.com. Island Lures, Tournament Tackle, Discover Crystal River, Florida, and Diamond Fishing Products. Our reputation is on the line.
Hey guys, as you can see, I'm here at the boat show, and with me from Yamaha is Lucy Berg. She's a product specialist. And Lucy, we're introducing a new Big 450. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Hey Rick, yeah, we are excited about our 450. We have more horsepower, it's breathing better now. We also added some conveniences to this motor to give our boaters more confidence when they're on the water, so they have to think less about controlling a boat and more time having fun. One of those things we've added is the total tilt feature, which you might remember from the 4.2 liter.
I do.
That's the double tap of the up button, right? And the motor comes up by itself, double tap down, and the motor comes down until it makes trim rim contact.
So what about the steering?
Steering is integrated steering. It's plug and play, works automatically with Helmmaster EX, and the customer doesn't have to think about it. Immediate response to the joystick.
When you introduced the 425, the one feature that everybody loved is how well it went in reverse. Is this motor the same thing?
Same robust lower unit with that thrust enhancing reverse exhaust system. So it's basic physics. We're rerouting the water above the anti-ventilation plate so that the propeller under 2,500 RPM is getting clean water. So it's a more efficient reversed grab.
You know, on a lot of our big center consoles, we've got lots of toys that take a lot of electricity. What about the charging system on this motor?
Right, so this has that award-winning phase angle control charging system. It gives us 96 net amps at idle. So that is stackable as well. So every motor will add 96 net, amps, and that's net at idle. So that's all that power is available for the fishing and entertainment equipment at idle.
Nice. So one other thing, we got, it looks like, what is this on the back of the cowling here?
Good eye. This is a safety feature. This is our prop light that indicates that the prop is spinning during our set point features. And this is now an option on the rear panel of our XTO. This gives our customers the option between that or drilling holes in the transom for that same safety feature.
So guys, if you have any questions about any Yamaha outboard, you can simply go to your local dealer, or what website do you want them to go to, Lucy?
You can go to YamahaOutboards.com.
There you go, guys.
Another cool way to take part in a tournament is by entering in the Key West Fishing Tournament. It's not just a weekend event. It's months long and doesn't cost you a penny to enter. Doris Harris is the director of the Key West Fishing Tournament.
So the Key West Fishing Tournament is, it promotes sport fishing in a fishing and competitive format. It begins December 1st every year and continues until July 31st. The only boundary to the Key West Fishing Tournament is the west end of the 7 Mile Bridge. So you can fish the whole lower Florida Keys all the way to the Tortugas and enter your catch. So the founder of the Key West Fishing Tournament is Captain Gamey Maxwell, who had a charter boat here in Key West. And he wanted to organize a tournament that promoted fishing and provided recognition to anglers that were in opposite months from the then South Florida Met Tournament.
The Met, or Metropolitan South Florida Fishing Tournament, is no longer running, but in its over 60 years, it was a time where world-famous anglers used their experience to win. Captain Rick Murphy has participated in many tournaments. He's learned a few things along the way, and he's got a tip about prepping your boat for a tournament.
So guys, a lot of times when I'm fishing out of my bay boat, my Pathfinder 23 HPS, as you can see, it's a big boat just like this 25. The one thing that we always do in the Murphy household is that we go through each and every hatch and make sure that the things that are in there that we're not going to be using on the tournament day, we remove them. We talk about putting the boat on a diet. This is really important because a lot of times it'll allow you to get a lot more speed out of the boat, 4 or 5 miles an hour more, as well as get to the spot first, which will give you more tournament fishing time, as well as maybe you might get there before your competitors. And that could be the difference between a win or not.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Ameritrail. Load, launch, relax. Berkeley, your fish, our science. Maverick Boat Group, makers of premium boat brands, Maverick, Hughes, Pathfinder, and Cobia. The American Fishing Tackle Company, any fish, any water. Heroes on the Water, paddle, fish, heel. And the Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are.
So guys, preparation is the key to having good tournament success. So remember that. If you're thinking about going offshore fishing, one of the things that we do in the Murphy house is that we'll go either in the yard or we maybe even go out a few days before while we're out bait fishing and we test all our kites. We want to make sure that those floss marks as they're going out of the clips, they're in good working order, that they don't have any frays on them. The key to having good success is making sure that the kite that's designed to fly to the right, it flies right in tournament situations that day. The same thing applies to the kite to fly to the left. Remember, if you do these things before, you're gonna have a lot more productive time fishing. That's a good key to success.
Alrighty.
The Key West Fishing Tournament gives anyone fishing in the lower Keys all kinds of time to catch the winning fish during its 7-month run. And there's all kinds of categories.
So the angling division is Pee Wee anglers up to the age of 10. Junior division is up to the age of 15. And then we have a separate women's division and a men's division. Now this fishing tournament began in 1965. So we have maintained records, not I personally, but the organization has, since 1965 of the heaviest of over 40 species. To enter your catch in the Key West Fishing Tournament, you can go on the website, keywestfishingtournament.com. Scroll down to the end of the homepage and you'll see an online entry form. Fill out all of your information regarding your weighed catch, your released catch, and then you just press submit. You can also attach a photo of your catch as well. The tournament recognizes over 40 species. Some of them are weighed, some of them for release only. The species for release only are shark, tarpon, all species of billfish, and Warsaw grouper, and also snook. One of the most unique species in Key West and all of South Florida is the African pompano. In fact, just this week I have an entry in the women's division of a new heaviest record in the 20-pound test line class, 28-pound African pompano. The tournament does not give out money, prizes, outboard engines, cars, or even trips. But we do provide recognition to each angler that sends in their entries, whether it be a release or a weighed catch. They receive a certificate in the mail noting their catch. And then at the end of the tournament, hopefully you'll be a winner. So what the tournament awards is a trophy plaque for the heaviest of each species in 9 different line classes in each angling division. So every year, the Key West Fishing Tournament awards over 120 trophies to anglers. The most prestigious that we do award is the Master Angler title. This is in each division, each Pee Wee, Junior Division, Women's Division, and Men's Division is awarded a Master Angler for an angler that lives in Monroe County and also an angler that lives outside Monroe County. These divisions, this award gets the most competition during the 7-month tournament. That and also most releases. The tournament is free. There's no pre-registration and there's no charge for anglers, but we are very grateful for the funding from the Monroe County Tourist Development Council. And since we're a historical organization, the many Key West and Lower Keys businesses that continue to support the tournament with their sponsorship ever since its inception in 1965. So the next time you come down to the Florida Keys, you could go fishing off a bridge, go fishing off a boat, go fishing off a charter boat. Come on down, do some fishing, and enter your catch in the Key West Fishing Tournament. And take a kid fishing.
You tell them, Doris. You can literally fish all year long, anywhere along the Florida Keys, with a list of tournaments that is supplied at flakeys.com. The Sportsman's Adventures team thanks you for watching this season. The crew is already on the water, catching for next season. In the meantime, make sure you get out there, make some memories, and enjoy your own Sportsman's Adventures. Keep up with the latest at Sportsman's Adventures by logging into our website at sportsmansadventures.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.